what do you call, a new motivation or something like that. Okay, new there is something that I'm doing new. Okay, I think I have shared it in my previous videos, but I don't know how much attention you paid to all of that. Okay, but first I will stick to the point. This is about spirituality and practical life. Okay, because these days many people are seeking spirituality and they express concerns over practical life. And I want to share my experience regarding how practical life happened after my first experience in 2014. Okay. So until the viewers arrive, I will talk about my experience in 2014. Okay. What I went through in 2014 is definitely something that is, something that is, yeah. When people use the phrase like beyond words, it applies to the scenario. Okay, because it is beyond words. Because I was struggling to find the words for an instant, and I had to conclude that it is beyond the words. That is how it was. Because during 2014, what happened was this. Okay, there was a boundary between me and the world. You might have heard the same definition from a lot of people, but I mean it. Okay, I went through this. I know this for sure. Okay, I went through this. What I went through was very tremendous, because after that it was like there was a total change in the way of experiencing life. Okay, and if you ask me, it was completely pleasant. It was not. Now this is where there is a difference between how it has been told traditionally and how it works practically. In the other words, okay, this is where it is different from how it is advertised and how you actually experience the final product. Okay, none of the things none of the things in this world, okay, is close to how it is advertised. Okay, if you are seeing an advertisement for anything, okay, anything, even if the advertisement is sponsored by the government itself, even if it doesn't have so much commercial elements, since still, okay, what is advertised will be always different from what is the end product. Okay, now spirituality is advertised in so many ways, right? But what is advertised is not completely true. It is not completely true, because spirituality is a beginning of a totally new world. It is a totally new world where you have to learn certain things by yourself. In 2020, okay, I had a dilemma in 2020. That is the year 2020, because in 2020 a lot of disturbing things happened in my life. That is when I thought, okay, spirituality is not like what I thought, because the result of my non-duality. When I say non-duality, let me say one thing, okay. I know beyond any doubt, okay. I don't have any doubt at all when it comes to my non-duality experience. This is non-duality. Nobody can break this. Nobody can convince me otherwise. Nobody can, no matter how much arguments you know, you come up with regarding the fact that I am not experiencing non-duality 24 bar 7. It will not convince me. I'm not talking about you, okay. Maybe what I say will not convince you, that is a different problem, okay. But whatever you say will not convince me, because I know my experience, right? But the problem is, this experience is, I can relate to this experience when I read Adi Shankaracharya's commentaries, for example. And none of these modern gurus read them, okay. In the modern days, unfortunately, spirituality has become a business. People might have gone through spiritual experiences. People might have gone through non-duality, but there is something called skill, okay. For example, you are living in non-duality 24 bar 7, but your height is just like 4 foot and a few inches, okay. You will not qualify for a police job, because police job requires certain kind of qualifications, right? You don't qualify for it, even though you are living in non-duality 24 bar 7, just like that. If you want to criticize these texts, okay, what you need is this brain, okay, intellectual capability. People's IQs are different, okay, whether you're enlightened or not, whether you're experiencing non duality or not. First, the IQ is different. Second, the way of articulation, okay, articulation is also a skill, right? Articulation is very, very important when it comes to speaking about spirituality. Unless you're articulate enough, you cannot convey it. I'll give you one example. Osho was very, very articulate, but his vocabulary was very, very weak. His accuracy was very, very weak. Accuracy and articulation are two different things, okay? You can articulate something which is difficult to put it in words, but still, it doesn't guarantee that there is accuracy in what you're saying, right? He was not accurate, and he himself admitted that. Okay, I have some question. Um, I wanted to say one more thing, but yeah, I got distracted by the question. Okay, Ramakrishna is said to have seen Ma Kali, and even the idol of Dakshineshwar was said to have life. What do you think about this? Was that purely Ramakrishna's own projection or something else? I have answered this question in my book itself. Okay, first book, the truth about spiritual enlightenment. Okay, because when it comes to these things, okay, we have to analyze these things very, very carefully. Because reality is this. Okay, you can see something, you can hear something in a very positive way, in a result of a positive what do you call positive, not outcome, positive sadhana or something like that. Okay, the positive way. Okay, you are doing some kind of sadhana. Because of these results, okay, your brain may produce some images, right? Kali is in front of you. Now I have said this exact same things, okay. Whatever Ramakrishna Paramahamsa experience is real, okay, real. It is real, but it is real in his own experience. But is it objectively real? When you're dreaming, okay, when you're dreaming, please don't mistake me. I'm not because this is a very sensitive topic. I have a lot of respect for Ramakrishna Paramahamsa because he was my first guru, a person who if there was a person who initiated me to spirituality, it was Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, okay. But yeah, when it comes to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, his experiences, I have written a lot about it, okay. First of all, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is somebody who was living in a village, okay. He was excellent, okay. He was excellent in spite of being a common man, okay, a villager, somebody who's living in a village, somebody who's not well educated. He did a wonderful job, okay. But we guys are educated, right? We guys are taught about logical thinking, right? So we have to think certain things in that perspective as well, because another person is asking a question: what is the benefit of spirituality? If you go to my YouTube homepage, okay, I think I have already selected a video regarding this, okay. What is the aim of spirituality? And again, I have to talk about my first book, okay. In the first book that I wrote, I have written something about hedonic treadmill. You know what a treadmill is, right? If you're running a treadmill, okay, you keep running and running. You are running in the treadmill, okay, but you are in the same place. No matter how fast you run, you can change the speed in the treadmill, okay. You can change the speed to anything, okay. You can run like anything in treadmill. But no matter how fast you run, you are still on the same place. You have not even moved an inch. That is true, right? In the treadmill. Just like that, there is a different treadmill called hedonic treadmill. You're looking for something, okay. You think that something that lies in the future, something is waiting for me in the future, which will satisfy me. You keep accumulating so many things, wealth, education, whatever it is, okay, whatever it is. But your main concern is, okay, right now I'm not happy, but in the future, because of what I am doing, I'll be happy. Whether you're accumulating wealth, whether you're learning something, whatever it is, okay, whatever it is that you're doing, okay, you are trying to fill the gap by convincing yourself, okay, I'm not happy right now, I'm not satisfied right now, but tomorrow I'll be happy. But no matter what you do, that tomorrow never comes, right? No matter what you do, like just like you're running on the treadmill, okay, no matter what you do, no matter how much fast you are, okay, you are still in the same place. But yeah, when you're running on the treadmill, the intention is different. You want to lose weight, so you don't have to compare that with this, okay. But when you're running in the real life, you're expecting something, okay, other than, it is not like losing weight. You're expecting something because of this running, right? Like, it is just like expecting to run on the treadmill and to, expecting to reach a mile, okay, to reach Delhi. You cannot run on treadmill and reach Delhi or Mumbai or wherever it is that you are targeting, right? So that is the truth, okay. When it comes to real life, we are always running on a treadmill. This is a prison. You are imprisoned, okay. And the freedom from this prison is spirituality. That is the whole topic of spirituality is about the freedom. Freedom is nothing but mukti. Mukti means freedom, okay. So when we say mukti or moksha, we are talking about freedom, ultimate freedom. But animals also don't think about future. So only human beings spirituality is valid, right? Well, animals do not think about the future because they cannot. They are they don't have very much IQ about they cannot even most of the animals, okay. I think some of the animals can recognize themselves in mirror, okay. They are not as conscious as we are, okay. So animals are driven only by instincts. For example, fear and hunger, okay. Hunger and mating instincts, all the instincts, natural instincts, they are driven by that. They don't have much idea about future, okay. We have a very systematic idea about the future. We have a calendar, okay. We have calendar. You know that tomorrow is what, Monday, right? Tomorrow is Monday. You know that next week is so and so. You know that next month. You know about everything, right? If I mention a year, like for example 1983, you know you can estimate how long has it been, right? An animal cannot do it. So animal is not yet in our stage, okay. Animal is always, if you observe an animal, okay, if you observe, like for example observe birds, okay, they are constantly in fear. They cannot think ahead of that, okay. They are not like us. We are living in a luxury because in many ways we are in a luxury because we can plan our lives, we can analyze our lives, we can look into our lives, we can plan about future, we can do a lot of things. And that is exactly why we are unhappy, because animals are, they don't have worries, okay. First of all, animals don't have worries, okay. They don't have worry about, for example, what will I do, okay. I don't have certificates, I don't have enough education. I don't have my, there are like two children, okay. I have two kids, I have to get them married, like all these things animals do not worry about it. But still instinctively they are driven by fear, and they are driven by all the other kinds of physical instincts, right? So we are one step higher than the animals. But still there is one step more that we have to do, right? One step more that we have to reach, which is, because it is like, like we are in the middle, okay. We are not as unconscious like animals, but we are not conscious enough to reach the ultimate blissfulness or ultimate satisfaction, okay. I won't even use the word bliss or anything like that, okay, because bliss is often misunderstood, okay. Bliss is what do you call, okay, I think peace is the right word, because bliss is something that you experience often, okay, but peace is something that you experience forever. There is a difference between these two, okay, because bliss is like the ultimate experience of your life, and it is not 24 bar 7 at least in my experience. You don't feel blissful 24 bar 7, but you feel blissful most of the time, okay. But on the other hand, satisfaction is 24 bar 7. Past and future does not exist, right? Past and future are mental construct, okay. See, I think I have to be very careful in answering your questions, okay. See, when I say mental construct, yes, it is true that past and future are mental construct, because we have a conceptual past and conceptual future, okay. But we have memories, which is from our past. Those are real. The memories are real, okay. Those memories, whatever you did, they are committed to your memory. These memories are real, but the way you interpret your memories, the way you create a story about your memories, that is your past. That is not real. The same thing is future. It is true that in the future you have to survive. In the future, a lot of, for example, if you think about it, for example, if you think about your condition, you can predict your condition in the next 2 years. Okay, if you're doing a successful job, okay, if you are in a very successful career, maybe your future might be bright. But right now, if you don't have those things, okay, you can predict already your future will not be that great. Okay, but you also have a story about the future, right? The story that you create in your mind, that is not true, because first of all, at least past has some existent in your memories, but future only exists in your imagination. Okay, because you have no idea. Think about this Ahmedabad incident, right? There was a plane crash, right? Everybody had a future in their mind, but unfortunately, I'm very sad about this, and I was very shocked about this too. Okay, like after the plane took off, in the next 30 seconds, everybody died except one person, Ramesh, right? So everybody died. So what does this indicate? There is no guarantee that you will be alive tomorrow. That is the truth. Okay. You skipped past my question. Okay, I don't know. Let me go up. Okay. Banka is, so you are saying Ramakrishna's experience was true for himself, but it was not objectively true. Then wasn't the Kali that Ramakrishna were that then wasn't the Kali that Ramakrishna saw simply a project of his own mind? It could be. I think even Osho had said that. Okay, but I'm really sorry, guys. It might offend some people. I like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa very much, but I am also a student of science. Okay, and I have written a book connecting science, spirituality, and Advaita Vedanta. I have mentioned the same thing in that. Okay, so I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. Okay, and I always I what I care about this is the truth. It is not about science or spirituality. It is about the truth. What is true? Okay, science may say something, spirituality may say something else. Okay, but what is true? That is exactly what I care about. I want the truth, and I am biased about the truth. When I say I'm biased about the truth, that is a very good, I think there is a healthy attitude, because it means that what you care about is truth, okay, nothing else. It means you are not biased towards anybody else's interest, okay. If you are biased towards Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, you will say Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is always right. The same applies for anybody, okay. But the thing is, the best thing, the best attitude to have when you try to find out the truth is to be unbiased as much as possible. So in that way, at this point of time, because of the absence of any other convincing arguments, in spite of being in this tradition and in spite of researching this tradition and my experience for all these years, I have to say that Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's experience was not objectively true. It was true for him, but not objectively. Okay, so it means there are a lot of secrets to the human mind itself that we have not yet discovered. Are you following me? Curious. Why did you say that you might not have achieved nirvana and that nirvana is different from Advaita? I think I might have said it in my previous videos, not in this video. Okay, I did not utter the word nirvana in this video, because the reason why I said that is because, okay, when I look up all these Buddhist texts, okay, to be honest with you, okay, no matter how much Advaita or whatever Hindu traditions say, okay, this Buddhism seems to be more scientific, man. One thing that I have to admit regarding this, okay, I am a Hindu, okay, but again I'm unbiased. When it comes to Buddhism, I have to approach, because even Buddha said one thing, okay, no matter whatever anybody says, okay, you just have to understand the truth of that. Okay, so Buddha was an excellent person when it comes to using his critical thinking. Okay, so sometimes it is tempting to conclude for me that, okay, maybe Buddha reached another level that Advaita Vedanta did not reach. I mean, it is like Buddha also went through the same thing, okay, but probably Buddha went so far, and again, it is not, I mean, it is not 100%, it might not be correct, okay, because it is my assumption, okay, it is my hypothesis, that's it. That is exactly what I said, okay, regarding this. But yes, of course, Advaita, because I have achieved Advaita. If you ask me, okay, okay, I'll answer your question in a different way. Okay, if you ask me whether Advaita is in my experience, it is true because Advaita means non-duality. There is no duality at all. But Nirvana is not like that. Nirvana is nothing like that. Okay, Nirvana is a Sanskrit word. By the way, I'm learning a lot of Sanskrit these days. Okay, so when it comes to Sanskrit, I'm actually doing a very good job. Okay, so Nirvana is actually about putting off a fire. Okay, something that is burning. Okay, burning. So if something is burning, okay, it is going to give you some kind of discomfort, right? Nirvana is talking about the experience of non-duality. Nirvana is talking about the escape from the suffering altogether in every single way. No matter whatever is. I mean, again, no, I'll talk about this Ahmedabad incident. Okay, the plane crashed and there was a fire, right? Nobody knew how to put out the fire. The fire was burning and everybody were burnt, right? There was no nirvana there, okay, because nirvana actually means putting off fire, okay. Nirvana is used in a practical sense, okay. The lot of Sanskrit words, okay, that we associate with great meanings are actually used in a very ordinary sense in Sanskrit. For example, the word Atma means the self, okay. I have already said this, okay. Aham Atmanaha Darpane Pashyami means I am looking myself at the mirror, okay. So Atma means self. Just like that, Nirvapayati means, for example, uh, there is a fire, okay. If I want to put out the fire, it means that somebody is like, Nirvana means getting outside of the fire, right? So these are very very common in Sanskrit language. So think about this, okay. If something is hurting you was like fire, and if you're getting rid of it, that is exactly what is Nirvana. Okay, the connection went off. Okay, Buddhism is all about suffering. The first truth, okay, in the fourfold truth, the first truth is life is suffering, because you suffer because of diseases, you suffer because of old age, and you suffer because of death, right? So how can you escape from the suffering? So this is a bigger promise. Escaping from suffering is not the same as attaining non-duality, okay. Non-duality is about jnana, okay, understanding what is real and what is not real. But nirvana is not just about jnana, it is about the escape of everything that is troubling you. Have I escaped from everything that I am troubling me? I have not. But do I have Advaita Vedanta as my experience 24 bar 7, no matter what the hell people say, okay? They can quote a lot of scriptures, okay, whatever you want. I know for sure, okay? I know for sure, without a single iota of doubt, I know that I am living in non-duality 24 bar 7. Nobody, no matter how much you argue, no matter how many emails you send, no matter how many comments you say, okay, I will never ever, because there is no choice, because this is true. This is the Pratyaksha Pramana. Pratyaksha Pramana means you are seeing it for yourself, okay? This Pratyaksham, it is direct, okay? So nobody can convince that this is not Advaita, this is not non duality. It is non duality. But you can easily convince me saying that you have not attained Nirvana because, yeah, what happened? You're still burning, you're still having some problems. And this is acknowledged in Advaita Vedanta itself by Adi Shankaracharya. For example, in one of the commentaries, he said, okay, even after enlightenment, somebody should live with the strength of Atman. I could immediately recognize that, okay. I could immediately recognize it is the English translation, but still I could immediately recognize when he said that, when he said about the strength of Atman, okay. So yeah, first of all, this goes very, very deep, okay. The rabbit hole goes very, very deep. Lot of people, many people who are in this um, YouTube channel, or many people who have contacted me, or they have just touched the surface. Okay, I have gone beyond all of it. I'm not saying this because of any kind of pride or arrogance. I'm stating a fact. Okay, so let me see. Okay, how do you deal with desires, especially sexual desires? You've had addictions. How can I deal with addictions? Just does it need sheer will, determination, or awareness? Well, first of all, when it comes to addiction, okay, when it comes to addiction, Nisargadatta Maharaj, right? He was addicted to tobacco too. George Gurdjieff, He was acknowledged by Osho as enlightened, and he was addicted to alcohol. And Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was himself smoking, and I'm also having going to have a smoke because he reminded me on that. Okay, so addiction is something that depends on the body. Okay, it is not about mind at all. Okay, a lot of people say that you can overcome addiction by mind control. That is bullshit, because addiction has got nothing to do with the mind. Especially, I'm talking about the chemical addictions. For example, tobacco is nicotine is a chemical, right? You're addicted to nicotine. Okay, you want to smoke a cigarette. The reason why you smoke cigarette is because you're addicted to nicotine. The reason why you drink alcohol is because you are addicted to alcohol. Sexual desire is not the same thing, by the way. Sexual desire is not a physical addiction, it is a psychological addiction. I'll tell you why. But before I tell you why, can you think of it? Okay, can you think of the right answer? Why? I mean, alcohol addiction is physical addiction. Alcohol addiction is physical addiction, okay? It happens in your um, body. Nicotine is also a physical addiction, but yeah, sexual addiction can also be physical. In fact, sex is itself is physical, but there is a huge psychological aspect to it. Okay, think about it. Okay, after all, nature gives so much pleasure for sex simply because nature prefers procreation. Okay, if you have a lot of children, it is about the survival of life, right? So when it comes to survival of life, when you do anything for survival of life, okay, survival and multiplication, I'm sorry, survival and multiplication of life, okay, nature favors it. Nature gives you enough enjoyment. For example, let us talk about survival only. Okay, you're feeling hungry, okay, and you really really want food. Why? Because the desire arises from the nature's way. Okay, nature has its own way, because only if you eat you can survive. If you touch something that is very very hot, you feel very very painful. Why? Because only if you stop it you will survive, right? So nature wants you to stop it. If you want to eat, okay, nature rewards you because nature wants you to eat food. If you have sex, okay, nature rewards you a lot because nature wants you to do it. Now nature is not like a person, somebody who has intentions, but it seems to be a clear pattern, okay, from nature if you look at it. Okay, so that is exactly what sex is. If you understand this, okay, you won't be addicted to sex. Okay, so and even if you are addicted, you will, like, you will, first of all you have to whatever, for example, I'm smoking, right? I'm smoking, and I'm drinking also occasionally, but I know the consequences. Okay, I know everything, right? And I don't care because anyway the life is going to end. Okay, if I have some kind of, for example, if I tomorrow I get married to Surya Gayatri, okay, I may stop everything because I have a responsibility then, but not right now. Who needs me? If you need me, I will stop smoking. If you need my work, I may stop drinking, okay, because it is injurious to health, right? Who cares? Do you care? Do you care sending me money? Do you care sending me donations? You're just asking me questions, right? Why should I be even alive? I don't want to kill myself. I don't have any intention to do that, but why should I preserve my life also? Okay, there is no need, right? I can die tomorrow. I can die day after tomorrow. I can die whenever death comes. I don't care because I've already accomplished the goal of my life. I am not in the hedonic treadmill anymore. I already spoke about hedonic treadmill a while ago, right? This is a very important topic. First of all, if you want to understand spirituality, you have to understand hedonic treadmill. If you do not understand hedonic treadmill, you will not understand the purpose of spirituality, because the purpose of spirituality is ending the hedonic treadmill. And I have managed to put everything in a very very practical way, in a modern way, so that people understand it. And still now, whenever people ask me something, I can very easily say that I have mentioned that in my first book. So I think my first book is very very valuable in this aspect, okay, because it answers a lot of questions. So yeah, do you have any more questions? Because I will end this video after the cigarette is finished, if there is no more questions, okay. Yeah, because I had other things to do, because I'm learning Sanskrit like anything. Sanskritam, okay. I become an expert in Sanskritam. You see all these books, right? Everything is like that, okay? Everything. Okay, yeah. I think I have to end this because it is time for me to go, okay? Thank you very much, guys. See, if you really want to support me, I am willing to, because if you really believe that I have some kind of knowledge and experience that you guys do not have, okay, I'm not being proud or anything like that, okay. It is my pleasure to assist you, but first you have to trust me when it comes to that, okay. Thank you very much for listening. I have to go right now, so I will end this video. Thank you. Bye.